Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome to Let's Play 999. In the last episode, we were about to probably make our escape. We were trying to figure out how to avoid leaving Seven behind even though he volunteered. But then, frickin' Santa, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. He's like, nah, we're gonna leave more than one person behind. We're gonna leave about 3 or 4. So yeah, he has June hostage. Let's see what happens next. See? I told you. His lips curled into a cruel, mocking smile. Where the hell did you get that gun from? A shudder traveled the length of Junpei's spine. His chest froze, and he could feel his breath go stale in his lungs. I liked you, Santa. I knew you were weird, but come on, man. Nothing made sense. Junpei felt as though his head were about to explode. Santa's sudden change in attitude, saying that he needed 2 more. That would be 3 people total. Okay. The gun in his right hand, a revolver. Santa had grabbed June from behind and pressed what Junpei's shaken brain identified as a revolver roughly against her temple. What was he doing with a gun? Where on earth had Santa possibly found a gun? Yeah, that's what I said. Junpei's questions roared in his mind, but his mouth refused to ask them. Seven spoke, almost as though he had sensed Junpei's confusion.
The gun's from the other room.
What room?
One of the rooms behind door 6. I should have known he was going to do this. I should have taken the gun.
Well, it's too late now, fat ass. Really, Santa? You a-hole.
Damn it.
I said it weird. A mixture of fury and frustration twisted Seven's face and he glared at Santa. Santa, for his part, didn't so much as flinch. The corner of his lip twitched into a slightly wider smile. Then the smile faded and he began to move. He walked backward, dragging June with him. Before long, his back was resting against the door. On the wall next to him was the red. He put his hand on the scanner panel quickly and then forced June to do the same.
Now, time for you to start following my orders.
Ace, Lotus, congratulations. I've chosen you to come with me. Put your hands on the red. Yep. That was what Santa had meant when he said he needed 2 more. I see what he means.
Hey, you deaf? I gave you an order.
Santa's eyes narrowed to slits. He glared at Ace and Lotus. They stayed frozen like deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming car.
Right. Fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't get it.
No sooner were the words out of Santa's mouth than his hand twitched. And the gun roared.
Oh, phew. I was worried he was going to shoot one of us.
A section of the floor exploded, scattering wooden splinters across the floor. A thin plume of smoke snaked out of the hole in the floor. There could be no doubt that the gun was real and worked.
But why? Santa, why are you...
That's a good question, honestly. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. Clover's voice spoke of betrayal and disbelief.
Santa, I thought you were one of us.
Why, dog? Why? I'm so sorry. It's so hard when you have a dog, especially one who barks a lot.
I thought we were friends.
What?
You knew about the leaf word and the 4-leaf clover.
Santa's cheek twitched, almost imperceptibly. What is going on here?
What the hell is that shit? I've got no idea.
You're lying.
Shut up. Just shut up, you stupid... You want me to pull a bullet in your effing head?
Flecks of spit flew from Santa's mouth, his face twisted with rage. Clover recoiled, her eyes wide. When she spoke, her voice was very small.
Santa.
He snorted, then shook his head vigorously and turned to face Ace and Lotus. Alright, assholes. Ugh, this is so... He starts to swear every freaking minute. Binks, grow up. I know, I'm just trying to be a little, you know, thoughtful of who's watching, but I apologize if you don't like swearing. I'm so sorry. What are you still standing there for? Get over here and scan those bracelets. I don't have all day. Oh, what's the matter? Your hearing starting to go? Going senile, maybe? Ace and Lotus still didn't move. It almost seemed as if they couldn't move. June's face was pale behind Santa's arm. Her eyes were wild, and her chest heaved with every quick breath, like an animal cornered by a predator. Junpei's mind worked furiously. What were they going to do? Then he realized something. There was nothing they needed to do. There was nothing to debate. June's safety was the first priority. That much was obvious. Doing as Santa had commanded meant that she would be safe from at least 2 threats. She wouldn't be shot, and she would leave the ship alive, along with Santa, Ace, and Lotus. There was only one thing for Junpei to do. He turned to Ace and Lotus. Please, go. Oh?
But... Jumpy, what are you saying? If you stay here, you're gonna be stuck, Jumpy. And so will Clover and Seven.
I know, but you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, Seven?
Right. You just leave it to us. It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but...
Don't worry about me either. There's still something I have to take care of. But, no, you can't. Ace, Lotus, don't do it. Don't worry about me, please.
June was almost crying. Junpei walked around behind Ace and Lotus. Without a word, he laid a hand on each of their backs and gently pushed them forward. They almost stumbled, then righted themselves and took another step, and another. They turned around and Junpei nodded. Ace and Lotus turned around again and walked slowly toward the door where Santa was waiting for them. After what seemed like an eternity, they stopped in front of the door marked 9. Santa smiled. Alright, now let's get those hands on the scanner panel. What's the holdup? What, you think I'm effing around here? I don't give a shit about this girl. The red doesn't need a person, you know. All I need is the bracelet. You get it? Good. Now put your fucking hands on the scanner. Oh, I feel so awkward saying this. I'm not gonna say it again. He shoved the revolver harder against June's head and she winced. Fine. Ace sighed, defeated, and placed his hand on the scanner panel. Lotus went next. Lotus glared at Santa and slammed her hand into the scanner panel. The 4th asterisk blinked on. Good job. Now, Lotus, pull that lever. Soon as the door opens, you get your ass in there. Try anything stupid and you know what happens, right? Junpei could almost hear Lotus's teeth grind. The door slid open. Door number 9 opened at last. It opened with a low, powerful rumble, a drum roll to welcome the chosen few. All right, go! Lotus and Ace walked through the door, their eyes furious but defeated. Santa waited until they were all the way inside, then hauled himself and June across the threshold as well. 6, 7, 8. Later. You jerk. They still have to use a dead on the other side? Wow. After exactly 9 seconds, the door swung shut. The gust of air it created caused the candles on the altar to flicker and die. The room fell silent. Junpei, Clover, and Seven had been left behind. Clover looked down at her hand and traced with her finger the faint blue veins that crisscrossed them. Seven shoved his arms into the front of his overalls and scratched his stomach. No one spoke. Silence made the air feel thick and oppressive. Desperate for something, anything to occupy his mind, Junpei walked to the larger of the 2 9 doors. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. It read, "Engaged." He moved to the smaller door. The red read, "Vacant." The digital root of the remaining people was 7. See? They need a 2! They need a 2! Snake, where you at, boy? If we can find him, we can escape. Come on now. That's what Clover meant when she said she still has something to do. There was no possible way for them to open a door with 9 on it. Junpei touched the surface of the door. He thought about June, about Akane Kurashiki. Was she safe? That was all that mattered to him. If she was alive, if she had escaped this horrible boat, that was what Junpei prayed for. 7 came up next to him. He pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed.
So, what do you want to do, Junpei?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do? 7 opened his mouth to respond when... What the heck? Hello? Somebody's knocking. Maybe from the other side of the door. Hello from the other side. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing it. A noise echoed throughout the room. Someone's... Really, dog? He's acting as if someone was actually knocking on my door. Maybe he heard that. I don't know. Silence! Oh, come on. Shh! No! Someone was pounding on something. Vigorously. It wasn't mechanical. It was certainly human. Junpei and 7 looked at one another.
What the hell is that?
Shh! Quiet!
Clover motioned to 7 to be quiet. She put one finger to her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. The door? Where's it coming from? The 3 of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was coming from. Where? Where was it coming from? Oh, hell no. Could it be? It's Alice, the mummy. Creepy music. Well, it's not creepy, it's more like a suspense kind of thing.
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
You're right.
Let's open it.
But how?
What are those muscles for? For show?
You're telling me to force it open?
Just shut up and try. Junpei and 7 grabbed hold of the coffin. They tried to get a good grip with what little purchase they could find and pulled with all their strength.
Grrrr! Grrrr!
Damn it.
Man, it won't even budge.
Mm-hmm. There was some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Their eyes were almost immediately drawn to it.
Not another one.
Yeah, looks like it.
Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open?
I think so. The noise wasn't stopping. In fact, it was getting louder. They had no idea who was in the coffin, but they wanted out and they wanted out now. They had no idea what they were supposed to do. Without a passcode, it didn't seem like there was a lot they could do. They couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be.
Isn't there a hint somewhere?
Well, let's look for one.
Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pews, and Seven investigated the desk, but they turned up nothing. The sound still wouldn't stop. Are they gonna run out of air, whoever's in there? You okay, Alice? It wasn't a noise that belonged in that room. Kind of disconcerting. What was the passcode? What was Junpei supposed to do? How was he supposed to figure it out? He needed something. Dang. To be continued. What? Wow. Okay then. Interesting. Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Actually, I'm Santa? What? Just gonna give up just like that? This is actually the kind of intro? So it looks a little different. I hope that's not copyrighted. Now it is time, let our game begin. Huh. You have reached one ending, finally! I can't believe it took me this long. What episode is this? 20... Dang it, I don't know, 26th? Something like that? You have reached one ending. Took me this long to get that. This game has multiple endings. In order to experience all the endings, you need to save now. Once you've saved, you can restart the game with information you've acquired in this playthrough saved. Once you begin the game again, you can skip through text you've already seen. Simply press right. Okay. Once you reach lines, it will automatically stop. Memory of Escape has been added on the title screen. Memory of Escape enables you to play the stages you have completed. It is recommended to save after this in order to unlock Memory of Escape. Okay. I can't believe we finally got one ending. Finally! Sweet. The Coffin. Alright. That is awesome. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This just shows how long. Look how much I've done. Whole chunks missing. Pretty interesting, actually. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys again for watching, and hope you're enjoying this. And in the next episode, we will finally be starting the game afresh and doing another playthrough, so we can get another ending. I'm gonna make sure to choose different things, so I will have different endings and different rooms and stuff like that. Alright, so until next time, have a nice day. Bye!